Okay, as we sit down and close our eyes, the intention is to be with our inner home. And the only way that can really happen is to disengage our interest in sight, sound, smells, taste, memories, basically our whole world, being not interested to engage in it. And there's different ways to approach meditation. There's some insight perspectives, such as, everything's impermanent, everything's not under my, the things are not yours, the emotions, thoughts are all conditioned. Or there's also the feely aspect of meditation, like giving yourself permission to unplug and dwell in this inner space of freedom, contentment, peace, kindness, all these beautiful inner garden that we cultivate, these positive, these states. It's like a garden. It's meditation, the word. There's many decades. In the Buddha's Pali language, there's bhavana, which means cultivation and development. So one way to look at it is that we're cultivating the mind. And noticing certain aspects that we want to grow. And how do we cultivate a garden? We don't pull on the garden. We don't pull on the flowers. What do? We protect the garden from creepy crawly, munching beasts or things that'll chew away the beautiful plants. We protect it from the wind. We give it fertilizer, water. And then the plants grow all by themselves. So the same with the aspects of the mind we want to cultivate. It could be clarity, peace, contentment, the sense of inner joy. And when we close our eyes, what we have is the result of how we've lived our life during the day, during the week. That's why it's important. I often mention at the end when we chat after the meditation, let's look at how we live our life, the actions we take, decisions, what kind of internal chatter we let during the day. How does that affect our mind when we close our mind and allow it to be still? And then we learn from cause and effect what works, what's wholesome, what's good for us and what we don't want. So cultivating our garden, we notice and allow to be the wholesome states. And the weeds, we don't water. So this is a special garden. We don't pull out the weeds because it somehow doesn't work. What we do is we just notice the weeds and we don't feed them, and they die all by themselves. So things like thoughts about what's happening in the world. We notice it. We notice it, the distraction. It's mindfulness has the instruction. This is a distraction for the period of meditation. It's not the time to think about the world. So we don't feed it. We don't give it attention. We don't get rid of it because that's giving it attention. It's attending to it to not want it, which is attending to it, and by default it's feeding it. So it's a slippery slope. We have to it's not our job to get rid of it. It's not our job to feed it. It's just not our job, none of our business. Leave it alone. And with that, it's starving itself from fuel, so it dies all by itself, the thoughts about the world. You can try taking a deep inhalation and deep exhalation. Notice how it makes you feel. And allow breathing to be natural. Being comfortable with inner silence, not trying to fill the space with stuff and mental chatter or junk or expressions of me. Sometimes there's thoughts just for that ego to say, here I am, to reassert its existence. And it takes guts, courage to stop. And at first it may feel uncomfortable going like in a new place. But once you go there more and more, you feel at ease, and then you can relax there and you enjoy it. Same with silence. It's like every quantum vanishing in this path of stillness. Noticing the general state of your body, recognizing what state it's in. Is it the energy sluggish? Is it soft? Is it tight? Whatever it is, we're practicing this attitude of kind acceptance. It's just part of nature. It's a result of cause and effect. So I'm tired. It's normal. If you get less sleep, the body's tired. So no blame, just noticing, resting, adding intentions like, I don't want to be this, that is causing unnecessary mental agitation. It's not needed. And it takes courage to just give that up, not go there. So that's what the practice is. You don't go there with your mind. Politics or whatever is happening. You just don't go there. You get freedom at the expense of your ego and 2 cents vanishing. Judgments, thoughts, opinions, all that fuels the ego. So have the courage to not go there. You get freedom at the expense of the ego vanishing, but it's worth it. Well, try it. And you get back your ego later. You get perspective. So my mind's quite happy to just stay in stillness, but we all come from different routines and days and mind states. So usually we scan the attention through the body, which is helpful to help mindfulness develop, deepen. And it substitutes many thoughts to just one thought, being aware of the body. And it's interesting. So noticing sensations in your toes. And noticing the toes, allowing them to relax. Being aware under the arch. Being aware of the ankles. Being aware of the thighs, the calves. Knees. Being aware of the thighs, bum in contact with the seat. Hips. And appreciate the spaciousness and the relief when the mind becomes more expansive all by itself, like more light when interest and activity drops. No longer there's a preference towards fading. And you stay with that. Being up from the spine. up through the shoulders, noticing awareness in the shoulders. And here it's prioritizing. Taking a stand and prioritizing inner freedom and allowing this endless wandering of the mind to stop. It's like a heroic energy saying, no, I'm not going to go there. Even though you think you're right, it's not going there. For peace and freedom. And it's from wisdom. Which ripens in letting go of controlling interest. And just the sheer enjoyment of a mind at peace. You can continue scanning your shoulders, elbows, wrists, going through the hands. Going through each finger. Being aware of the neck, jaw, face, going around the eyes and forehead. Noticing the texture and condition of the mind, starting to simplify, being more yummy as there's more stillness, like less activity in the mind. So making sure around the whole face, allowing the face to relax. My mind automatically goes awareness to the breathing, perhaps just through practice, repetition. You can notice if you're breathing in, notice if you're breathing out. If there's many thoughts, you can substitute them with just one thought. Breathing in peace, breathing out relax. Or counting 1 to 10. Like breathing in 1, breathing out 1. All the way to 10. And starting again at 1. remembering the purpose is saying no to the conversations and just being with the breathing. Allowing yourself to let go in the simplicity of the breathing, and it gets more comfortable and peaceful and beautiful all by itself. You can try sustaining attention and seeing how it affects the quality of the mind if we add some kindness, like radiating out some kindness. So having an intention of friendliness. And notice that you could only have friendliness if we put down our guards. And this is like a hack for meditation, because the sense of self needs to also vanish when we give out friendliness, because you're letting go of your guards. You're putting down any selfing, the self getting activated to reassert its existence through commenting, judging, preserving. So these metta and loving kindness and other heart-based meditations are a hack at allowing the ego, the sense of self, to quiet and vanish and for the sake of peace. And you can activate this intention, this state of mind, this condition of mind, by just starting an intention of may all beings be free from suffering, happy, this friendliness. But you want to keep it subverbal, like not very active. But notice how it affects the condition of your mind. Is stillness easier if it's coming from a place of friendliness? That ahimsa, not wishing any harm, just wishing, truly wishing all beings in all directions, whatever they are, big, small, whatever, to be happy. You don't wish them any harm. You wish them to be free from suffering and to be at ease and at peace. And this is your inner home. It's interesting that these are equivalent or similar to some heavenly realms. So for people who practice meditation, that stillness, meditation is easier, benefits as you sleep well. If you believe in like heavenly beings, the Buddha said that you become kind of appealing to heavenly beings and animals like you. Who knows all this, but it's an interesting hypothesis you can play around with. But certainly it makes our inner home, this place where you rest inside your mind, much more beautiful space to hang out in. Your inner home. And it's easier for the mind to be settled and still. You can rest. And see how it's like being aware of the breathing once you've cultivated a heart with kindness, friendliness, acceptance. And slowly coming closer to the end. We still have some time, but towards the end, notice and linger, really appreciating the quality of the mind, especially that sense of ease, relief, and spaciousness. Maybe hanging out and being still with that condition of mind. You can be aware of your breathing or body scan, but spending some time appreciating that sense of relief and ease for several minutes. In particular, it's empty of activity, empty of busyness. You're free from all that tension, that burden. You know, it's light, like a bird, only carrying its wings. You don't have the burden of things to figure out and think about. Look how light that is. And unless we don't notice these qualities of mind, then we'll keep ourselves burdened with stuff that keeps us weighed and heavy because we delight in the content, not realizing that it's heavy. So rather than believing the words of the stories, like yes, it's true or whatever, but how does it feel when you're thinking all that? It's like taking a step back. In the olden days, a projector. Rather than getting caught up in the film, that's endless, and it keeps us stuck in this cycle of running and chasing after the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, the movies of sadness, happiness, blah, blah, blah. You look back and see, where is all this coming from? And then you have freedom. You have freedom. It takes courage because everyone's chasing, and then you stop and look back. What's making me move? What is that force that propels you? You get caught up in the illusions of thought. So noticing that lightness. When you allow yourself to let go. Sending some kindness. And coming close to the end, you can notice, how do you feel now compared to when you first came in? How much more clarity? You know, when you allow the dust to settle, there's more clarity, which will benefit you later on during decisions or just being. Isn't it wonderful to live your life with more clarity? It's like you're actually there when life happens. There's so much joy and inspiration that comes up. So noticing how the mind is compared to when it first came in. And then mindfulness will choose that this is worthwhile, this practice of giving yourself an opportunity for the shit to settle, to allow yourself to let go of all this. You don't have to hold on. You can put it down, and then when the mind rests, you can pick it up, but it's different. You're different, perspective is different, and it's not as heavy. Life isn't as heavy when you pick it back up again. You can open your eyes when you'd like.